They built ships that refused to rot, and honestly we still can't match it. Wood shouldn't survive 1,000 winters, saltwater, insects and neglect, yet Viking ships, roof beams and buried posts did exactly that. Some still do. Meanwhile, modern builders drown timber in chemical treatments, wrap it in plastic and still watch it fail in just a few decades. This isn't nostalgia, it's an uncomfortable truth. The Vikings solved rot without pressure tanks, without laboratories, and without toxic formulas. And, in many cases, their methods still outperform modern treatments. That's the part nobody likes to talk about. Now let's get straight into the good stuff. Why did Viking wood outlive empires? Viking wood wasn't lucky, it was engineered by experience. These people lived in a world where failure meant death. A rotting ship plank wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a grave. Over generations they learned what wood hated and what it loved. Moisture was the enemy. Fungus was the killer. Insects were the silent thieves. Every technique they used attacked those threats directly. Modern building culture, especially after World War II, went the opposite way. Faster builds, softer wood, chemical shortcuts. It worked for speed, it failed for longevity. The power of slow-grown timber is, well, kind of a game changer. Vikings did not use fast-grown trees. That alone changed everything. Slow-grown timber has tighter grain, less airspace, and less water movement. Fungi struggle to spread through it. Insects struggle to chew it. Today's construction wood grows fast, wide, and weak. It drinks moisture like a sponge. The Vikings also chose heartwood over sapwood whenever possible. Heartwood is naturally resistant to decay because it contains resins and extractives that fungi absolutely hate. Sapwood rots fast. Modern lumber uses both. Vikings avoided that mistake whenever they could. Fire was the first preservative. One of their most brutal and brilliant tricks was controlled charring, not burning wood to ash, just scorching the surface. Fire sealed the outer layers, reduced moisture absorption, and made the surface hostile to fungi and insects. This technique is now being rediscovered and marketed as a modern innovation, but it's actually ancient. Charred wood forms a carbon-rich layer that resists biological attack. Unlike paint or chemicals, it doesn't peel. It doesn't wash out. It becomes part of the wood itself. Some Viking structural posts buried in soil survived centuries because the charred layer slowed rot at the most vulnerable point. Tar, the dark secret modern builders ignore. Pine tar was the backbone of Viking preservation. Thick, sticky, smelling like smoke and forest resin. It soaked into wood fibers and did three critical things. It repelled water, it blocked oxygen, and it poisoned fungi. So, tar-treated planks flexed with temperature changes instead of cracking. They even healed small splits, and honestly, they aged pretty slowly. Viking ships were regularly retarred, which turned maintenance into, well, longevity. Now, modern pressure-treated wood often fails because, over time, chemicals leach out, but tar doesn't leach. It binds. This is why some Viking ships survived saltwater, storms, and burial better than untreated modern lumber stored in dry sheds. Iron was not just a fastener. Vikings noticed something strange long before science explained it. Wood in contact with iron actually rotted slower. Iron reacts with tannins in wood, forming compounds that are, hostile to fungi. Oak beams fastened with iron nails often decayed unevenly, staying solid around the metal while rotting elsewhere. The Vikings didn't know the chemistry, but they sure knew the result. So, they just leaned into it. Modern builders often isolate metal from wood to prevent corrosion. Vikings, on the other hand, accepted corrosion as part of protection. Design was as important as treatment. Viking buildings breathed. Airflow really mattered. Roof overhangs were generous, and water was guided away fast. Wood stayed dry because design worked with gravity, wind, and evaporation. But modern buildings trap moisture behind sealed walls and synthetic wraps. Once water gets in, it stays. Rot isn't just about wood quality, it's about how long wood stays wet. Vikings understood this instinctively. Why do modern treatments still lose? Pressure-treated wood focuses on killing organisms, not managing moisture. Once cracks form, water enters. Once water stays, fungi win. Chemical treatments also weaken fibers over time. Viking methods, on the other hand, actually strengthened them. After World War II, construction prioritized speed, cost, and uniformity. Longevity became secondary. Viking methods take time. They require patience, maintenance, and respect for material behavior. That's why they vanished from mainstream building. So, what can builders steal from Vikings today? You don't need a longship to apply these lessons. Use slower-grown wood when possible. Favor heartwood. Consider surface charring for outdoor structures. Use natural tar or oil blends instead of plastic coatings. Design for drainage and airflow first, not last. And most importantly, stop believing modern automatically means better. The forgotten advantage here is that the Vikings weren't primitive. They were ruthless testers. Anything that failed was discarded, and anything that survived was copied. Their rot-proof wood wasn't magic. It was hard-earned knowledge. Knowledge modern builders buried under convenience. And here's the irony. As we chase sustainability and durability today, we're actually walking straight back toward Viking solutions. Sometimes progress isn't forward. Sometimes it's about remembering what worked when failure just wasn't an option. If this changed how you see history and modern building, make sure you subscribe to 0 Hour World War II, share this with someone who loves forgotten technology, and hey, stay curious. History still has lessons we ignore at our own risk.